All right, the camera settings that I used outside for the time-lapse photograph, the camera was set at 1/125th of a second, so this is essentially able to be handheld when you take the photo. You can also see that the image is very dark because I was set at f11, which gives us a nice large depth of field. And in order to shoot at that small stop down f-stop, in order to get that large depth of field, I had to use an ISO of 200, even though it was a very sunny day. So that was my basic camera settings when I went out. In this case, in the classroom, you can see it's pretty dark. In this case, I'm going to bump it up just to get a little bit better exposure so you can see how this next step's about to work. The goal for each of our photographs is to have a very middle of the road exposure. So if your metering is somewhere in the middle there, I'll be pretty happy with it. So between the ones, I think, is a pretty good exposure for the scene we're going to be creating. That could be altered slightly by the if we have snow or something at some point this winter. Now, what we need to do is to click through the info button to get to our magic lantern view. And what this actually is, if you can see this, is that bitmapped image that I created earlier. Now, if I was outside, you can see that the bitmapped image is sitting on top of our background. So once we create our exposure and our exposure is proper, we have the camera set up, all we need to do is set it on our monopod and frame up and make sure that the light posts and the old main tower on the front of the building line up with the actual scene. Now in this case, I'm obviously inside when I'm doing this little video, but as long as the bitmapped image and the image that you're about to take line up before you click the shutter, you're going to end up with a bunch of time-lapse photos that are very, very similar and then usable when you stack them and play them back as a video file. So again, another little piece of information that's nice to have prior to going out and actually taking your photograph.